Hi, this is Arista Gem, and today we'll be going through this Wlop study painting. This video is the first of a two-part series. It's recorded in 2018. We are studying the piece and recreating it from scratch. The second part is going to be in another video, and it's a paint-over of what we got from this video, and it's done in 2021. I reviewed the old piece and made improvements on it. You can find the real-time footage of this current video on my Twitch channel. The link will be provided in the description below. So for the past few seconds in the video, I started with a rough sketch and went into blocking out the shape of the figure in Greyscale. We want to start in Greyscale because it's easier to study since all you need to worry about are black and white values. It becomes more complicated when colors are involved. Instead of using Liquify, I've been using the nudge brush tool to push and pull the image around. Liquify opens another window and sometimes it stores weird temp files _mvm something.tmp in your folder. I'm trying to avoid it as much as possible if I can help it. Oh, and I probably should add that I'm using the old version of Photoshop, so it's Photoshop CS6 that I'm using. Trying to match faces and likeness can be a little bit tricky. So I'm just going in and trying to push and pull the values so that it kind of matches my reference a little bit more. Faces are particularly difficult to match and mimic just because I think we see faces all the time, so we're so sensitive to what looks right in a human face. So sometimes it's really easy to be like, that doesn't look quite right. I think pretty faces are particularly challenging just because there's certain proportions you have to meet and match in order for it to look nice. And it's, you know, any beauty is subjective, so it's a little bit challenging. I've been painting faces for so long and I still, up till now, still feel a little bit like it's a bit difficult to paint faces. But yeah, the moral of the story is, even if it's difficult, just don't stop, and I think you would surely improve. Just don't stop. Well, you can see the painting is starting to come along. If you notice, I try not to use colors that are too dark. So, especially if you look at the eyes and the eyelashes, in the original image it's kind of black, but I've sort of refrained from using really dark colors until the end, because I think it kind of restricts your image somewhat. So I always leave it till the end before I put in the dark colors. So I got a little impatient there and I threw on a photo filter with the warming option just to add on color to the skin and see how it looks like. And then I guess I determined that it wasn't ready, so I went back to improving the values first. But you see me throw it on later again. So I used the warming photo filter for the skin and the cooling one for the hair, because the hair is a bit more blue compared to the skin, but you'll see me add it later. So here is the warming photo filter I told you about previously, and I added on a mask to paint on the parts where I want it to be warm, and then now I'm just using a gradient map to make more saturated areas of the skin so that the shadows and the midtones are a little more saturated, and then I'm going in with a mask again and just painting out those areas that are more saturated, things like the eyes and the nose and the cheeks, and of course the lips would be the most saturated compared to the rest of the skin, but the lips and the eyes mostly. And then after that I merged it all down and I used the colors I had on the palette on the screen, and I just color picked and started painting. So we have already built up all these colors and values, and sometimes we just want to make things look a bit more vibrant with the colors. You can see that it's squiggly lines. That is me using color mode. Color mode is really good to sometimes just lay on a color without destroying your values. It still kind of destroys your values, but it's more subtle, I guess. I should make a new video about how Photoshop, it's just a Photoshop thing where if you take an image and you desaturate it, it really messes up with the values. And I can do an experiment on that in the next video. But now I'm just taking the lasso tool and masking out just like the darkest color for the dress, and then just locking the pixels and adding a lighter textured brush effect over it just to have it look like what we've got in the reference. Shadows, like warmer shadows that I cast from the dress, and just polishing up things. With a lot of things like metal, I like to lay the foundation for the shape for the darkest color first, and then doing the bright highlights later. You lock the layer first, and then you paint it over with a super bright color. A lot of Wlop's work is characterized by a lot of beautiful reflective metal, and I'm trying to do that with the metal pieces on the side of her ear. It's reflecting the color of her ear even though it has bluish tones. And the same with the crown, and adding some blue tint from her hair. I'm not quite sure what to say for the rest of this video. It's pretty much me finessing with the colors and shapes of the piece. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments below. If you like the content, feel free to like and subscribe to see more of my videos, and I will be back next time. So see you guys then, and enjoy the rest of the video.